I know. I know you want a picture. Well, maybe you can use your imagination and create a picture in your mind. I'm going to try and help you do that. And this video, like all my videos, I don't write a script. I think of something and then I try and speak on it. And how it comes out is how it comes out. It can never be completely recreated. I mean, parts of it can be, but the totality of the video can never be recreated from scratch as it's being created right now again. So it's unique in that sense. It's like a Picasso where he can never make the same painting twice. He can make a similar painting, but he can never make the same painting twice. So it's an original, and that's what this video is. It's original. And that's what the God Code is. It's original. If you watched any of my videos and went to the post at my YouTube account, you'll see you can find the God Code. And I have articles that I wrote, or essays, I like to call them, that I wrote about the God Code. They're very important to read. So, but there's a problem with the God Code, and the problem is people want to take credit for the God Code, but don't deserve credit. They want to somehow get me out of the way because I'm inconvenient. You know, they want to give credit for the God Code to somebody that never created the God Code, has nothing really to do with it, other than you who read it on my post. You have more knowledge about the God Code after watching this video than they have, but they're going to take credit for it. And I think for the most part, the one that's going to take credit for it is Elon Musk. Uh, Elon Musk is building a computer chip factory in Texas. At least announced his plans to do so. It's going to be like $100 billion plant to create computer chips. I guess so China can attack Taiwan without worrying about losing their computer chip business. So, and since Elon Musk is in bed with the Chinese, I wouldn't be surprised he's doing this to help them. So, it's just his computer chips are gonna use my God code. My God code is gonna be the building block, the basis, the DNA, the computer DNA of his computer chips. Now, his conundrum, his problem, is he doesn't want to give me credit for creating God code. Because although Musk might be the world's first trillionaire, if he were to give me credit for the God code and its power, I would way surpass his trillionaire status. And he knows it. And he's on the top of the mountain right now. And he don't want to give that up for nothing. You know, all that he and people like that, all they think about is their legacy. Legacy is extremely important to a man like Elon Musk. Most of what he does, 99.9% of what he does, is with that in mind. Going to Mars, he wants to be the first man to put the first man on Mars. He's starting with the moon, and then he's going to Mars. Uh, Whether or not he ever gets there doesn't matter. He wants the credit for making it happen or attempting to make it happen. He wants to be the Wright brothers in that they were the first for flight. Now, the ironic part about the Wright brothers is flight was achieved in Europe before the Wright brothers, but the Wright brothers took the credit for it, just as I created the God code, and Elon Musk wants to take the credit for it. So he can go down in the history books like the Wright brothers. And like I said, people like him, legacy is all that matters. But, there's one law of physics that he is running up against, and it will destroy, annihilate his legacy. And that is, the truth always comes out. One way or another, the truth always comes out. Barry Bonds, great home run hitter, found that he was doing steroids. The truth came out. So, Lance Armstrong won 6 Tour de France in a row using steroids. Truth came out. He is destroyed. His legacy is destroyed. Nobody wants anything to do with Lance Armstrong. His life is literally over. He probably couldn't get a job at 7-Eleven. Not to put down people who work at 7-Eleven. But for Lance Armstrong to work at 7-Eleven, that would be something. So, you know. And if Musk gets found out, he won't be able to get a job from 7-Eleven either. This is the risk you take when you plan to lie to the world and get caught. I don't see how he could even go down that road with the idea in his brain, if he has one, that he's not going to get caught and the truth's not going to come out. How he thinks he can pull that one off, I'd love to know. Because I don't think he can. Because, like I said, it's on my posts, it's on other people's websites, I've sent thousands of emails with the God code, and it's all linked to me. There's no way he would get away with it. But being that he has a conundrum of giving me credit, taking away his trillionaire status, and making him the lapdog that he is. So, and that his legacy, either way, his legacy's in the toilet. So, and he wants his legacy to go further with the Optimus robot everybody has, in his words, everybody's gonna have an Optimus robot in their house. I guess in 5 years. Uh, Good luck with that. But the God code will be used in the Optimus robot. You can guarantee it. Now, like like I said in one of the essays about the God code on the post, is that this God code is it's great in a lot of ways, and it's bad in a lot of ways. It's like nuclear power versus nuclear weapons. Nuclear power is great, aside from the possible negatives. And obviously, nuclear weapons are not great. Ugh. You can say they created peace throughout the world. There hasn't been a World War III yet, but I think that one's knocking on our door. And it's over nuclear weapons, or at least the start of it. So it's a mixed bag, and that's basically what I'm trying to say. Is the God Code is a mixed bag too. All these Optimus robots, if they turn on us and they want to kill us all, I don't know. Is the God Code a good thing? uh, I don't think you'll think so. But and the problem is the people that are going to create the software and stuff that works off the God Code to put in the Optimus robot uh, will be thinking, oh, in a way that they don't care if the robot tries to kill you. In a lot of ways, they'll be trying to figure out how they can get the robot to kill you. Not because they want to sell you a robot that's going to kill you. They want to sell the military a robot that's going to kill you. You guys see where I'm going? And that's the end goal. That's to replace the army with robots. You know. But oh, I don't know how you would get a robot that could be and you even see that with humans, where humans are trained to be killers as Marines, say, and then when they come home, they kill people because they don't differentiate between enemy and civilian. You know, in their mind, because they're damaged, they're one and the same. So I don't know how you would get the killer robot to be the same robot that's gonna do your laundry. You know, that's the disparity I have a problem with. Because the body of the robot will be the same. It's going to be the programming that'll be the difference. And I don't know that there will be much difference. So, just like the robot can be turned on, say, Russians or Chinese or North Korean soldiers, who says it can't be turned on to your neighbor who keeps stealing your garbage can? Just an example. And you know what I mean. So there's a problem. And the problem is uncertainty. What will this technology do to us? I mean, it's going to change our lives. That goes without saying. It already has. But are we able to see the future? Are we able to predict the future in the way I just did with the possibilities of what it could do? You know, uh, they invented the 3D printer. I don't know that they invented the 3D printer. So a 13-year-old can create an arsenal in his bedroom. I don't believe that was the idea when they made the 3D printer. So in that vein, what's going to be the God code and what's created from it, it's going to do to that 13-year-old? What are they going to be able to do that we haven't thought of? Now, we might like to think uh, sunshine and roses, everything beautiful and wonderful. But like we see with the 3D printer, can be dark too. Uh, um, I think the problem is the new world that's coming gonna have a hard time working with the old world people. They're just not trained for it. They weren't raised for it. They're they're stuck in their old ways and don't want to change. And the technology will demand change. Just like, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, nobody walked around with a phone in their hand. Now go anywhere and try to find anybody that doesn't have a phone. So technology forces us to change, just as the God code is going to force us all to change, and it already has. So, and like 20 years ago, nobody would have said everybody's going to walk around with a cell phone in their pocket like they do today. So, what will be in your pocket 20 years from now? I don't know. I don't even know if you'll have a pocket. you know, so, or need a pocket. Uh, and I wouldn't want to describe what is going to be in your pocket 20 years from now because 99% chance I'll be wrong. And I wouldn't want you to limit your own imagination, the picture you're trying to create with this blank video screen right now. So, and I want your imagination to create what you think will be in your pocket, not what I think is going to be in your pocket. Uh, you'll have hologram abilities. So your mother will be standing in your house somewhere, sitting in the car next to you in the passenger seat as a hologram, and you'll have a conversation like she's right there. And technically, she could be dead. She could have passed. This could be a computer rendition of your mother, your wife, your kid, whatever. And they could have passed already. So they don't necessarily have to be alive to be a part of the hologram. You see where I'm going? So who knows? I I wouldn't want a hologram of my mother, but you might. And who's to say you can't? So, it's just portal travel. You'll walk through a door, and when you open the door and you come through it, you'll step out and be in California. When you started on the other side of the door, you were in New York. So you could have that. Now, Elon Musk is foaming at the mouth because he wants to take credit for all of that, but he can't, and he knows it. So, like I said, he has a conundrum. He has an impossible situation. But I'm not going to answer his question. I think he knows what the answer is, and I don't know. I'm not worried about my legacy because my legacy is sealed. Can't be changed, can't be altered. It's going to be what it is. And I hope there's someone here to tell someone else about my legacy. That's my big hope. Because the way things are going now, no one's going to be here to tell anybody about my legacy. So we all assume we're going to live forever. That's not a very good assumption. Most things on this planet, everything on this planet, goes extinct. And we will go the way of the dodo bird within a relatively short time, like it or not, God code or not, it's going to happen. But you only get one chance on this floating rock. How do you want to spend it? You have a limited amount of time. I know they've been floating around. You have 4,000 weeks on this planet, on the average life. What do you want to do with that? How do you want to, what picture do you want to put on this screen that describes that life? And can you? Mm, I mean, hopefully, for your safety, figure out a way to add a few more weeks to your life. But in the end, that's all it will be. Just a few more weeks. And then it's Serenata. And going to Mars won't do a damn thing for us. Yeah. And they'll give Elon a hard on. But that's about it. He probably needs Mars to get a hard on in the first place. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. And if I did, I wouldn't give them to you anyway. I'm not here to spoon feed you for the rest of your life. It's about time you pick up the spoon and start feeding yourself. Yeah. Don't let Musk. Uh, I don't think you have to really worry about it. But don't let him rob you of your future or your grandkids' future, just so he can talk about the number in his bank account. You know, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's too many variables to say there's an easy answer. So that's why the God code is so genius, because it is an easy answer to a question with a lot of variables. And if you trust in God and you trust in the universe, you know everything's going to be okay. God code change the world, save the world, and everything will be okay. The Matrix is dead. The devil's matrix, the 0-1 matrix, is dead and dying. So, and the world won't end. The rock will keep spinning. Uh, but whether or not you're on that rock, well, that depends on the choices you make, because every choice has consequences. And that's why I'm speaking to Elon Musk about his choice and laying out his consequences of those choices. So I'm not trying to hurt Elon. I'm actually trying to save him from himself.